Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who is new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to today's video where I'm actually going to dig into my pile of shame. We're not working with new palettes, well they're new for me and it's also a new brand for me, but you guys all know those. These ones, the Cutie palette, or two of the Cutie palettes from Nabla, and I ordered them. There was, I don't know, there was a sale, 30% off or something like that, or maybe it was you buy one you get the second one for free or discounted. I don't remember anymore. These have unfortunately been in my pile of shame for a couple of months, and I just really need to get to this because really I have been wanting to try Nabla for so long, and now today is gotta be the time because I'm in between projects, so I'm like, let's do it, sweeties. Okay, so if you just found me, I'm Leorah and I am a makeup artist and I'm a stylist, and if you watch till the end of the video and see me coming back for the finished look with my finished styling, you will know that I am very much into color, both in styling and also in makeup, and that is basically what you're getting here, besides fun content, very positive and stuff like that. So if you like that, then please subscribe to my channel because you will just find a new place to hang out. Okay, sweeties, that is what it is. Besides that, as always, one eye is primed because I'm doing my first eye on camera, and with that I think I'm going to just zoom you in and we're going to start working. Now I had to ask my husband which palette because I was sitting here. I was sitting here and I was staring at both palettes. I should show you. I haven't showed you. So this is the Coral palette. This is how she looks. And then we also have the Wild Berry palette. So I was like, which one? And I decided on this one. Okay, so anyway, that is what we're going to do. And also my husband said, you know what? The packaging looks more like you. So because of that, I'm going to pull this palette today, but I might use this one for highlighter and blush and stuff like that. And of course I'm going to use this off camera. I just want to feature like one palette like right now. Okay, so besides that, of course I have something to tell you. I have a story to tell. Okay, but first of all, let's go in. I think I want to go in with this shade first, the Venom, and see how that goes on, and put it in the outer corner. Let me just find the right brush. Put it in the outer corner and see what happens. I'm also super drawn to this one. This is spectacular. This one, it has such a cute shift. I'm also going to swatch both of those palettes and you're gonna see that later. Okay, so anyway, let us put Venom on. Let's put Venom on. All right, pick up on the brush is very decent. Very decent. Okay, and now let's just put it on. The first time I basically realized that Nabla exists was years ago when Angelica Nyquist featured them. I think that was even before she got on their PR list. Must have been, but I also saw these ones, the Cutie palettes featured, and they are more and they all look nice. That was actually the reason why I picked those, even though they're 6-pan palettes and I'm not really into small palettes too much, but that's why I picked those up, because I really like how they develop the color stories in those little palettes compared to like the bigger palettes that they have. I think the little ones are actually more interesting, like for my taste, you know. But I'm watching that brand with a lot of interest, and yeah, and that is basically why I'm sitting here today using these palettes. Alright, sweeties, I wanted to tell you a bit of a story that just happened recently, a couple of days ago for me, and I just felt like, wow, this is so special. Now, if you don't know, sweetie, I have 7 children, ranging between the ages right now between 14 and 5. The youngest one is about, no, that's not true, 4. The youngest one is about to turn 5 in August, so we have quite the quite a lot of kids here. So anyway, and of course you must be able to imagine that all of them have to be dropped off at school or kindergartens, and of course picked up and taken to different classes. And basically I am running a taxi service. Not only me, honestly, my husband is also doing a big chunk of the driving, but dropping them off in the morning and picking them up in the afternoon is usually what I do. Now, the good thing is that most of my kids, basically, let's see, 5 out of the 7, is that true? Yeah, 5 out of the 7 actually have a school and the kindergarten at the same place, basically, more or less the same place. So pick up and drop off is one thing, you know, it's like one ride, and that is amazing because otherwise I would go crazy. So let's just switch brushes and try to blend this out a little bit better. I'm gonna go in with a fluffier brush. And all right, so I was picking up my kids. Now there is the school of 3 of my kids, and right next to it is the kindergarten of 2 of my smaller ones. So these 2 smaller ones, their names are Tekoa and Golan. They are in that kindergarten. So when school finishes, the older kids go and pick them up, and then they all come together to the parking lot where I'm standing or where I'm sitting in my car waiting for them. So that is how it usually happens. Now, this time around, the day that I'm talking about, there was a reason. I don't even really realize what the reason was, but I had to pick up Golan and Tekoa by myself, like actually go to the kindergarten and pick them up, because of course they're not letting them out without another person, right? Obviously, for security reasons. So let me see if this blends a little bit more. So far so good, right? So far so good. Anyway, so I had to pick them up, and so I rang the doorbell at the kindergarten, and then one of the kindergarten teachers that I didn't know yet came out and asked me, "Are you the mother of Golan and Tekoa?" And I said yes. So she introduced herself. She says she's like exchange, does one say that? A substitute kindergarten teacher. She was like filling in for someone else and has been apparently for a couple of days. And she said she needs to tell me something. And I'm like, I'm never happy about stuff like this because it always means trouble. Usually. Yeah. So it usually means trouble. But she was all smiles and everything, so I figured, okay, tell me. And then she said that on that day she was sitting with a smaller group of children. Among them was Golan. Tekoa was not, he was in a different group. Okay, so Golan was in that group, and he is 6.5 years old. Just as an explanation, it's his last year in kindergarten, and in September, God willing, he's going to start 1st grade. All right, so anyway, so she was sitting there with this whole group of kids, and one of them was Golan. And they basically had a conversation about what they're going, like what they want to be when they grow up, okay? So of course, the typical answers were policeman, I don't know what, like she didn't go into that too much, but I assume that I want to be rich, I want to be a YouTube star, I want to be, you know, all of that stuff. I think I think also the answers of children to that particular question have probably changed ever since I was that age. I don't even remember what I said. I think I wanted to be a teacher. I think that's what I said. But anyway, so yeah, so the kids were going through their answers, and Golan was very quiet. He was sitting there. I'm going to go into the next shade. Which one should that be? I think I'm going to go into, which one should I take? You know what? I'm going to start with this one, and then I'm going to take this one, and maybe this for the outer corner a little bit. So let's see. Anyway, let's take Alchemy 2.0. You know what? No, I'm gonna swatch it and just look how they, yeah, definitely Alchemy 2.0. All right, so anyway, so he was very, very quiet and was kind of reflecting and thinking, and he is that kind of a kid, you know? He is usually when there's a conversation going on, he is quiet, and sometimes people think that he is not quite up to the game. And I think he gets underestimated a lot in general because of that. But what people don't know is that he is processing. He's like high processing kind of a situation, you know. Also, he has a slower way of talking and stuff like that. So people probably think that, wow, this kid, not the fastest, you know. But Sweetie. So Golan was listening to all the other answers and the comments that, or the feedback that basically the kindergarten teacher gave to all the answers of the other children. Now it was Golan's turn to give an answer. And she said then to me, the kindergarten teacher, Golan's answer, I've never heard an answer like this. So I said, so what did he say? And I was like, I hope he didn't say he wants to be something like creepy or something. Anyway, just take, oh, sorry. There was nothing wrong with the eyeshadow. I just had a bit of a moment here. Okay, so sweeties, he said, I don't think it matters what I want to be. And everybody looked at him like, what's wrong with you? Just answer the question, you know? Okay, going into bucolic baby? I have no idea what that means, but anyway. And placing it basically right next to it. So they all looked at him and were like, okay, so can you please explain why don't you have a goal in life? You know, it's not really a positive thing when you think about it. And then he was like, all politician, I guess. He was like, it doesn't really matter what I'm going to be. What matters is that whatever I will be, I'm going to be the best in it. He's 6, like really, you know? And I don't know if he has this kind of wisdom for me. I kind of really doubt that, you know? So anyway, I'm gonna go in the shade Blackberry. And I was so impressed, you know? I was really impressed big time. I was like, what? That came out of this little guy? Seriously? And she said yes, and she could not believe it, you know? She like fell in love with that little fellow. And I was like, wow, you know? These were these 2 seconds of bliss that you sometimes have as a parent. And maybe if you're Jewish, you will know what nachat means. Nachat is kind of this bliss and joy that you sometimes have as a parent. And nachat is basically the Hebrew, or is it Yiddish? I don't know, word for it. Okay, if you don't know, I'm Jewish, so yeah. So anyway, this whole concept of nachat that I am waiting for till it will finally hit me. It's like, you know, because raising kids is hard work. It's hard, and it most of the time is just a huge big challenge, and you see very little results, and you feel like, well, I'm starting from zero every single day. And that is how I feel. Definitely. It's not easy. It's not like a Hollywood movie. I was like, you know, sitting in a rocking chair humming lullabies. It's not that. Definitely not. At least not for me. It always has been quite the ride when you think about how many kids we had in, well, we had 7 kids in 9 years, you know, you do the math. So anyway, but that was just such an incredible moment where I saw my kid with completely new eyes of like recognition, and seeing his soul and seeing how deep he is. And while I knew that he is a deep child, I had no idea that he has this level of depth in him, you know. And I thought, whoa, this is incredible. And then she continued telling me that he basically continued saying what he wants is, and I'm not making this up, okay, I have no reason to make this up. I could just talk about it, like sit here and talk about the makeup. So then she continued saying that he said he wants his parents to be proud of him, and he wants to do good things in life. And I was like, wow, this is so beautiful, you know. I really, really love that. So that is basically the story that I wanted to share with you today, because I felt like, well, this is something that I absolutely want to share with my sweeties here on the channel, because you guys, of course, sometimes see my kids. Golan has not been here so much, really, but it's really the small ones. They don't have good English skills yet, so it's, you know, it's not so easy to have them here on the channel and then be entertaining with them, because of course you're coming here for entertainment, right? So but still, I really, really loved that. I really, really loved what I heard there. And you know, of course, the next moment you get home, and then they suddenly start fighting about who gets a piece of gum, you know, like it's never just that or just that. It's always like a whole mixed bag of things. But I felt still that it is just such a nice glimpse into his soul, and I really, really, really had this tiny moment of nachat that I'm really craving, you know. When a child is born here in my religion, you wish I guess the whole extended family, you wish them a lot of nachat. And for a long, long time, I've been really angry at that because I felt like, so where is it? I got so many well wishes of nachat, and where is it? Like, is there something to this concept even? This is now a bone color mat, okay? Because I couldn't feel it. I felt like everything is a struggle, everything is a struggle, everything is, you know, because I don't think that I am like this kind of a super mom that like rocks it all, you know. I have to be very, very organized because, you know, I have to like handle everything for 7 children, and you know, all of that. But to actually sit down and enjoy or have this moment of joy, you almost don't have the time, you know, you don't. And then I see the years going by, and I think like, okay, so when is the nachat going to hit? And then other people who are older tell me, well, the nachat is going to hit when your children bring home their children from the hospital, you know. And then I'm like, okay, so basically I'm just here and waiting for my grandchildren. That can't be true. That can't be right. I'm not up for this. First of all, I'm not ready to be a grandma, sweeties. Plus, even if so, I want to have direct pleasure from my children. You know what I mean. You know, I want to see good things coming out of my children directly and not waiting for the next generation. So anyway, I don't know if this is a completely wrong concept. There might be something true to it that one sees in the grandchildren. Like, I don't know, that one gets a lot of joy from that. I don't know, because I'm not at that stage yet. My oldest one is 14, so we still have a few years. But anyway, you get the picture, you know. It is a lot of... It's not easy to be a parent because you have a huge amount of responsibility in those years that you're raising your children, and sometimes I feel this responsibility crushes me. Now, there are a lot of parents who are very relaxed about this responsibility, but I always feel that one also sees it in the outcome, and I want to personally have a good outcome for my children, or as good as I can possibly influence it, you know. Of course, there is a limitation to my influence for sure, but anyway, so that is what I feel. And then to have this moment of I don't know, acknowledgement, I don't know, of acknowledging my child for what is growing within him, basically, you know. I felt that was so beautiful. So anyway, that is that. I'm going to do the other eye off camera, and of course you're going to see both of these palettes swatched out, and then you're gonna see me all made up with the finished look and the finished styling. We'll meet here, don't go anywhere. It's gonna be for you just in 1 second, and I'm going to tell you what I think about the performance of this palette. Okay, sweeties, here we are with the finished look and the finished styling. Of course, if you want to see the whole styling, this whole look will also come up on my social media that is styling related, and of course this whole look on my social media that is makeup related. Okay, sweeties, you just saw the swatches. I have them right here of both palettes. This is the Coral palette, and this of course is the Wildberry palette, and also this will come up or will already be live on my social media, but only stuff like this I only post on my Instagram, Leorah Cosmetics. Everything is linked in the description box. Okay, sweeties, what do I think about the look? I am kind of really liking it, because usually, I know this must be so boring for you, but I do like my makeup. And usually after I sat down here for like 1.5 hours to film for you and whatever, and that is just like one look, right? Then I better like my makeup, right? Because why not? Okay, so let's zoom you in and show you the finished result a little bit closer up. Okay, so of course this is the Wildberry palette, and I think that color scheme wise it's beautiful. I used all of the shades in the palette for this look. I'm going to also show you in a second what I did, of course, under my eye. And I also used as blush and highlighter, I actually used 2 shades from the Coral palette. So let me just show you before I forget. So I have this here as a highlighter, which is, it's not like the super most striking, but it is a super nice gentle possibility that you can use. Like, for example, if you go away for a weekend and you have this as your palette for the weekend, you have your blush right here, well, depending on your skin tone, but like if you're like me, I use this as a blush and this as a highlighter, and I could very easily use the rest for whatever, you know, for stuff on my eyes. Yeah, so anyway, just saying, okay, so this is from the Coral palette, and I'm definitely also going to use this. Of course, it's not going to be filmed because I just filmed with this one, but you will also, of course, see the pictures online. Okay, so now this one. What did I do under my eye? All right, I definitely wanted to try this shade too. It looks a little bit like a shimmer, and I'm not 100% sure what it is because I did not check on the website, but it performs like a satin. Okay, it is basically, which shade is it? This one. It is not really shimmery and striking enough to be a shimmer, if you ask me, but I could be completely wrong. It is kind of satin, like enhanced satin. I don't know, it's hard to explain. But anyway, you do have, of course, 3 mattes, this one, and this one. Then you have 2 super nice sparkly shimmers, which is this one and this one. And this is either a different shimmer formula, a more subdued one, a more, I don't know, basic one is the wrong word, but like a different one, or it is a satin that is on steroids. Okay, so all right, so anyway, this is what I put under my lower lash line, and then I deepened it up with this one because I also had not used this one, and I kind of also mixed it a little bit with this one still, but that is basically what I did to finish the look. I have a very dark purple on my waterline, and this one I have in my inner corner. Now for a very small spot like my inner corner, I did have to spray the brush. Besides that, I did not have to do that when I applied them here, but I have to say that of course applying them with the finger and like dapping it on always makes the performance much better. So yeah, blendability beautiful, buildability beautiful, everything, oops, everything was fine. Just spinning out of control a little bit. So everything was fine. Of course, I cannot yet tell you if there's going to be staining or anything, and if so, I personally don't care. I don't know, but everything performed really well, and I really like the look. I cannot wait to try more from Nabla. Seriously, this is really cool. I have only heard one time that people spoke negatively about a palette from Nabla, and now I don't remember exactly the name anymore. Could it be Poison Garden or something like this? Something with a garden. Was there poison in it? I don't know, but I think a lot of people thought that that palette didn't perform so well. But besides that, I think Nabla is a brand that is very well loved and featured and stuff. So I'm happy that I got to try this, that I bought those, and Nabla as a brand is definitely also in my future, that's for sure. And definitely I want to try Nabla brushes because like most of my friends are raving about Nabla brushes. So if there's ever a sale, sweeties, this is the first address. You have to let me know so I don't miss that sale. All right, sweeties, this is basically what it is for today. I just keep looking at myself because I have mirrors everywhere. So if I'm looking like this or like this, then it's just because I'm completely in love with the look. Yeah. So anyway, this is it. Of course, you will find everything that I have on my face listed in the description box down below, together with all my links for social media, and of course the discount codes that I do have with different brands. I don't have one for Nabla. I wish I had, but I don't. But you can check all the other ones in case you want to use them. Besides that, of course, if you have not done so, then please subscribe to my channel, because as you can see, you get a lot of fun content, lighthearted, and we're just really positive here. And if there's something that I don't like, I will tell you, you know, but I will always be respectful, and I'm always going to be nice, because that is how I see it, how it should be, because we can always be respectful and nice, even if we, you know, tell someone, you know, this maybe didn't work out so well for me or whatever, but we can always be respectful. So this is how I handle my channel, or how I run my channel, and if you vibe with that, then please subscribe to my channel. Alright, sweeties, this is it for today. Please come back for my next video, which is gonna be super soon, and up until then, definitely go ahead and sparkle. Hugs and kisses. Bye.